politicians keep summing out, well, Brussels have made this rule, Brussels have made that rule, we can't do this for you. They won't have to use that as an excuse anymore. Right. That's what they do, they just roll it out every time. You're not getting what you want because in Brussels they said you can't have this, or that we have to go with this rule, we have to do that rule. They won't have to use that as an excuse anymore. If we're out and we're on our own, they can't bring that one out and say, sorry, it's them. It'd be that house there, it'd be down to them. Them in that house use that as their get out clause, don't they? Right. Oh, it's the Europeans this and we have to follow this law and we have to follow that law. Take them back then. If it's that bad, take them back. They don't want you to thrive, they want you to thrive outside their club. It's basically, there's like big racketeers, they're like a big mob, they're like gangsters. All this money's coming in, it gets siphoned off here, gets siphoned off there. And suddenly that money's going, they say, hold on a minute, you've got to pay us protection. If you want to be in our club, you've got to pay us money. That's like, we've got to pay them a bribe, basically. But immigration is only a problem when you don't control it. Immigration's fine, that if we need people to come in and do jobs that can't be done here, in the national health, and they can come here and they want to contribute to society, then let them come. But when you've got mass coming, and they're not contributing, and they're the plague, all the criminals coming over here, all the schools where I live in the last 10 years, they've got no playing fields left. They've had to build on them playing fields because the populations have got so big that you go to the doctors, you can't get a doctor's appointment, you go to the hospital, you'll be in the A&E for 8 hours waiting to get seen. The country's buckling under it. I'm not saying people should be cut adrift, but you need to start looking inward to say, right, if we've got 3,500 people sleeping rough on the street and we're bringing people in from abroad and saying, right, there's the money, there's your flat, go and live in that. What's wrong with that person that's lying there on the street you're walking past every day? And a lot of them are ex-service people that have served this country. You need to say, oh, you're looking inward, but where'd you start then? Would you just keep walking over people? Because that's all they're doing, they're walking over us. So you've got to make a stand somewhere. I was on Facebook and it come up about 3 boys that were murdered by a driver who mounted the pavement, and that's how I first got involved with these people. That I was coming down, and then I started reading about Brexit and watching the news, basically, the mainstream media news, and just making opinions from that, and basically thinking that Brexit's not going to go through. I did vote to leave, but I wasn't. That's not why I come down to protest initially. It was for the 3 teenage boys that were murdered. You could have 100 groups down here that have all got axes to grind with the government, with the establishment. The way the country's going, the way people injustice basically, whether it's ethnic equality, on racial grounds, on sexuality grounds. You could have a million different groups down here, and if you spoke to each other, you'd find that you're fighting the same fight. It mean a betrayal. I'll never ever vote in any council election, anything. I would never vote again. I'll just go, that's it. I just have to live with it, basically, what they're giving us. Right. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that won't. They'll come out and there'll be civil unrest. Yeah. There'll be civil unrest in parts of the country. Like, we had 17.4 million people voted to leave, and now they're telling us we can't have it. I give up a day's salary to come here. You know, a lot of these get paid. We've watched them come on a Thursday night. Steve, they actually get a pay packet. They're paid to be down here. All us that come down here, we either give up days or we give up money to be here. I've given up a day's salary to come here today. Yeah, but there's underlying problems for years. We had all that. We had all the 12 years of Labour. That, you know, it was supposed to be for the working class. They've done nothing for the working class. They bankrupt the country. They took us into that financial crash. So social injustice is everywhere. Social injustice everywhere. It's across all ethnic groups. Everyone's suffering. I always voted Labour as a kid. My parents, everyone taught me to vote Labour. And then as I got older, I realised under Blair, they were worse than the Conservatives.